explain something to white people. Our hair comes out of our head naturally in a curly pattern. So when we're straightening it to follow your beauty standards, we are trapped by the straightness. That's why so many of us can't swim and we run away from the water. People won't go to the gym because we're trying to keep our hair straight for y'all.
It kind of just came to my attention that Black Americans, and this could apply to any race, when it comes to the beauty standards in this country, that there's so much pressure applied to Black men and Black women in this country that it leads to serious identity crisis and just, in a sense, self-hate. And what I mean by that is I have a cousin, I think we're about 3 years apart. My cousin is beautiful, like stacked like a brick house, pretty in the face, tall. I mean, she got like that real African body, like that Sarah Bartman body, okay? And I know that she's always kind of struggled with like how she sees herself in her physical appearance, and I have as well. Like, that's something that I can attest to. I'm like, I feel like a lot of us here in the States, we deal with that. But I get on Facebook and I see she puts, I want to get a BBL. What you need a BBL for? You already got what everybody's trying to buy. And it's not that she really feels like she needs a BBL, but the beauty standards in this country makes you think that you are not beautiful as a Black person or a person of color, but specifically Black women. The beauty standards in this country make you feel like you are not beautiful. I can attest to that. So many people that I know can attest to that. It's so many Black, dark-skinned men that I've complimented them on their skin tone, and they almost break down and cry because they didn't feel beautiful growing up because of the beauty standards and because of the society that we grew up in, and because these bad traits are handed down to not only just us, but other races of people in this country, where we all feel like, oh, Black is not beautiful, African features are not beautiful. People that look like you will make fun of you. People who don't look like you will make fun of you. So to all my Black people, my Black Americans that feel like they're not beautiful, you're beautiful. Africa knows you're beautiful. Plenty of Black people around the world know that you're beautiful. And you don't need to fit any type of beauty standards, any type of white supremacy beauty standards to feel like you are the bomb, because you're the blueprint. You don't need to fit anything else because you are the alpha, the omega. You are the blueprint. And that's what we forget. We forget that we are the beginning and we are the end.
You know what it took me years to realize? I was never ugly. I was just dark-skinned. And I was tortured so badly because of it. And I was made to believe that one equaled the other. But it doesn't. I don't know why it took me so long to come to that realization, but I'm glad that I finally did.
What do you think about the fact that when you go into the black hair shop, a big one, because there are big ones, that are just for black hair products, and from floor to ceiling, there's millions of products all designed to do similar things, or things that you didn't even know needed to happen. And okay, we don't all have the same texture hair, but you know, there is some justification for some variation in the products that we would need to choose from, but that much? How do we make sense of that? Who profits from all of that? And how do they profit from all of that? What do they have to convince you of to convince you to go into a shop like that, stare at all these products and not think that it's fucking mental? And not think maybe people are making up problems with our hair so that they can sell us a fucking product to fix a problem that ain't a fucking problem.
So insecurity is $1 billion business. And on this, I want to really address my Black sisters and the Black queens on this matter. And let's talk about something that the beauty industry does not want Black people, and especially Black women, to talk about and to know. And for years, studies have been coming out warning that many of the wigs, the weaves and the relaxers and the synthetic braids aggressively marketed to Black women in the US and across the African continent, of course in the Caribbean as well, contain toxic chemicals linked to cancer, hormonal disruptions, and even infertility. Yet these products are still highly pushed and normalized in this target market of Black people. I want us to interrogate why this is the case, and of course, what is the agenda behind all this. Let me share some videos here, and I'll be back with a good analysis, so stay tuned.
Why can't white women wear box braids and cornrows, but Black women can wear weave? Let's talk about it. Welcome to this segment of Culture Ho, where we discuss Black culture in 60 seconds. Let's get to it. Assimilation versus appropriation. Black women had to assimilate, white women chose to appropriate. Assimilation meaning adopting the dominant culture's practices. Black women had to assimilate because our hair was literally labeled offensive. Wearing weaves and wigs and straightening our hair was a necessary part to secure our livelihood because natural Black hair was considered unprofessional. And then, of course, Black women evolved it and it turned into a beautiful hair culture that is full of color, creativity, uniqueness, and expression. Appropriation, the dominant group taking aspects of the marginalized group's culture without any respect to its history. The 2010s, Black women culture really started being appropriated. Hair is just one of the many examples. But what's problematic about that is Black women still can't participate in those parts of our culture without being judged, but these women get to and benefit from it. Y'all be talking about Viking braids and stuff. Them not the same type of braids, and y'all know it. That's why Black women wearing weave and straightening their hair is not the same as white women just choosing to try on Black culture for a little bit and wear cornrows and box braids.
Guys will be like, oh, I love natural hair. Da-da-da. I'm just like, no, you love a type of natural hair.
Let's
Don't
be
lie.
real. There was this girl that made a TikTok and she was basically saying, at the end of the day, it's your money, it's your preference. You can spend it on what you want, how you want to look. But has the standard become a bit too unrealistic? So standard being lashes, weave, all this and that. It's for me because I'm someone, I love that. I can't lie. I've always been like this. Like everyone that knows me, I've been that girl that's just into stuff like that. That girl. I've just been into stuff like that. But I also know how being into stuff as that has actually played on my self-confidence and also played on my own insecurities, and also that there's this standard that I know that does well. Let's be real. Like if you look a certain way, your hair's on a certain way, you have that look, you attract what the mainstream society accepts. I think the men have made a standard of beauty. Like we just followed it. Like if boys were loving the afro, the short hair, do you not think everyone would do it?
Yeah, absolutely. But the reality is, guys will be like, oh, I love natural hair. Da-da-da. I'm just like, no, you love a type of natural hair.
Let's
don't
be
like
real.
You don't like the 4C.
No.
You like the 3 Exotica.
Let's
you
be
like
real.
that. That's what you like.
You like that.
Don't.
Yeah.
I feel like there's just so much politics, like, to even unpack it. Like, there's like, where would we even start and begin?
Isn't it funny how when we are in the Black community, we preach progress until someone progresses past you, then suddenly they're acting white. The second a Black person gets more money, expands their vocabulary, drives a nicer car, levels up their life, suddenly they're assimilating. Do you realize that you're the one implying Black people are beneath that? You're actually saying that excellence, order, and success belong exclusively to whiteness, and that is crazy. Why do you put whiteness on this pedestal? As if speaking clearly, dressing well, and being educated is their thing. There was a time where we dressed better than anybody. We were dapper, we were dignified, our music spoke of love, family, and responsibility. And when a man even thought about leaving his wife and kids, the men in the community came to his house and said, you're not just embarrassing yourself, you're embarrassing us. That's who we were. And that's the standard colonization wanted destroyed. And we give into it every day. And that's why this is an us problem, not a give me more white people problem. You're still in chains, because freedom isn't about rebellion. Whiteness is not goodness. Goodness comes to whoever chooses it. My ancestors didn't fight so I could conform to this backwards thing you call culture. They fought so I could choose to read, to educate, to dress, to succeed, to fail, to leech, to have my own opinions. So pick.
Imagine if Black women all across the world stopped buying hair products for 1 month, just one. Here's what would happen day by day. We'll never guess what happens by day 30. Day 1, major retailers panic. Beauty supply stores, Amazon, even Tesco and Target see a dip. They start calling emergency meetings and wondering if it's a boycott. Day 2 to 4, Korean and South Asian owned distributors start calling store owners and wondering what's going on with these orders. Meanwhile, social media is flooded with DIY hair care tips, product swaps, and natural styles. Day 5 to 7, stocks start sitting still and weekly targets are getting missed. So online stores try and do flash sales, but black women aren't budging. Days 8 to 12, media picks it up, think pieces drop, and news segments with headlines saying black beauty dollar disappearing, and those influencers, the ones who were silent, they start picking sides. Days 13 to 17, some beauty store owners start posting public apologies. Others double down. We've always supported the community. And a few offer black brands better shelf placements out of fear. Days 18 to 21, smaller black-owned haircare brands start to see a surge. Those ones who are still handmade and sell directly to consumer. Instagram and TikTok lives are flooded with founders, recipe sharing, and real talks about ingredients. Days 22 to 25, big brands start panicking. Emails start going out to their multicultural consultants. Marketing teams rush out apology rebrands. We hear you, we see you. Basically, just buy us again. Days 26 to 29, store revenue between the US and the UK beauty sector drop millions. You guys are making me want to start a revolution. Investors start to notice, product managers and retail buyers get fired. Quiet calls start to go out. Can we partner with black founders now? Day 30, a full month later, and it's clear. The black beauty consumer isn't just a niche. She is the market. And for once, she knows it. We talk about power, but if we decided to actually use it, are you deep in that? Game over.
I understand that, what our hair look like has been criticized for a long time, right? But ultimately, even if someone is criticizing you and calling you ugly, there is a mental breakdown that can happen, right? If you don't believe that you are beautiful. No matter how much someone criticizes, your children, you are 10 toes down fighting for them, right? So I think in the same way, you just have to find beauty in yourself. You have to tell yourself that, because I'm sure a lot of us, I've struggled with this, just not loving what my hair looks like, wanting it to look like other things. I've worn wigs, I've worn braids, I've worn I've even shaved all my hair off several times. I've done a lot of things. I think the work is really, it comes from within. It's not like the pressure that other people are putting on us as black women. It's the pressure that we are putting on ourselves. How many times have you seen a woman with natural hair, maybe their sides are not laid, and hear black women talking about how horrible they look? We are our own worst critics as black women. Michelle needs to throw off that wig. I don't know if it's a wig or if it's her own hair. Maybe it's her own hair. Whether if it's a wig or not, whatever, she needs to throw that thing off and wear her hair naturally that comes from her natural head, like she said. Stop looking at white people or any other people for your beauty standards, because you are your own beauty standard. You look in the mirror and say, this is beautiful. I love what I look like. And if you don't believe that, convince yourself. Okay? Convince yourself, because the truth is, if you're not loving yourself, if you're not looking up and saying, wow, my mother looks beautiful, my sisters look great, my cousins, the women who look like me look good, then you're always going to be looking at other people. And you got to find the beauty within yourself, and not just physical either. I think that beauty is not only skin deep, it goes far beyond that, and it's from the very soul of a person.
What would your advice be to a younger black girl who is trying to navigate the current Western beauty standard?
I was watching a Insta video, and I can't remember the woman's name, beautiful woman, and she was talking about how we can often be deceived, particularly in the UK and in Britain, about our beauty and the fact that our beauty is not conventionally celebrated or honored. And there's only now been a rise in acknowledging black women and the fact that they are equally as beautiful as any other woman. And she said that when you go to other countries, when you go to your motherland, and that could be Jamaica, Caribbean, West Indies, whatever, Africa, she was talking about how they will hype you up. They will hype you up. They will tell you how. Thank you. Cheers. They will tell you how beautiful you are. And because you've been so accustomed to living in a world that just that ignores your beauty, your uniqueness, you almost start to believe that you're actually not beautiful. Take one step in Jamaica and see how much compliments you're gonna get. I'm not saying that you should base your beauty on compliments. I'm just saying that there is often a deception in this context, particularly in the UK, that because our beauty is not the conventional standard of beauty, that we're not beautiful and we're not amazing and attractive, but we are. We're just living in a context where white beauty, European standards of beauty is like the hallmark, is the metric of beauty. How much you can look more European, how much you can look more slender and this and that. That's what I say. I'd also say, listen, I'm a Christian. Your beauty comes from God, all right? God made you fearfully and wonderfully. Isn't beyond blackness. I would just say that, just know that you are specifically created and designed by a creator who made no mistake, including your skin tone.
Isn't it ironic how some people blame slavery for why black women feel pressure to abandon their natural hair? Yet, those same voices are often the loudest in mocking or criticizing blacks, black American or African American women who confidently wear their natural hair and are proud. You can't claim oppression as the reason for self-image struggles and then ridicule those who are actively breaking free from that mindset. It is also incredibly hypocritical to tell black women with natural hair to go get their hair done while you are walking around wearing blonde, straight, long extensions that mimic the very European beauty standards you claim to despise. You say you are fighting for black identity, yet you attack those who actually embody it. You can't tell white women not to wear braids while you are walking around with permed, straightened, or blonde hair, and then have the nerve to attack black women who proudly wear their real hair. That's not cultural pride. That is selective outrage.
I just wish the black woman knew, like, you don't gotta wear wigs to be beautiful. You don't have to wear eyelashes to be beautiful, like eyebrows. Like, you don't need all that. You're beautiful, like, just the way you are. And that's not black girl magic either. Black girl magic is natural. Like, it looks way better.
Yeah. I also think that they've talked themselves into, and they can't talk themselves out of, I think they know that being natural and being with no makeup and all this stuff is beautiful, but they've been told and they've been shown, like, this is beautiful.
They've just been
so
shown
they can't get their,
and they just
mind off of it.
They just want to fit in.
That's true.
I mean, that's what everybody's doing, right?
Because even like we've never grown up with wigs. We've never grown up with fake eyelashes. And in our minds, we know natural. You know, we know
we've
it's
always
beautiful.
been natural, right?
We know we know it's the way to go. But we're still affected by it. We're still like.
And
but am I enough?
imagine if we hadn't grown up this way, how affected we'd be by it. Like if it was our moms doing it, or our sisters, or our best friend at school, like that would be. How do you even fight that alone?
Oh, well, the truth is simple. For generations, black women have been pressured to fit into a beauty standard rooted in Eurocentrism, you know? And because of that pressure, many have had to, you know, have had to go for the relaxers, the straighteners, the synthetic braids, the weaves, the wigs, not realizing that the chemical dangers or not realizing the chemical dangers hidden in these products. What the latest researchers show is deeply troubling. And these products are not just cosmetic. They are chemical treatments that enter the body through the scalp, which is one of the most absorbent, you know, parts of the skin. And the chemicals are, you know, the chemicals being absorbed are absorbed into our bodies are some of the most, you know, serious, you know, causatives of serious health issues affecting black women across the world in you know, across the black world, you know. And the shocking part is these dangerous ingredients are mostly found in products specifically marketed to black women. So we must ask, why do the most toxic beauty products target us? Because all women around the world take care of their hair, but there is a specific agenda to target a black market. And the biggest answer is in profit and profitability. Corporations benefit when Black women feel their natural hair isn't professional, is not neat, or is not beautiful. So they want to sell that propaganda so they can create an insecurity. And as I said in the beginning of this video, insecurity then creates for them $1 billion market. But the truth is the opposite. Black hair is beautiful. Black hair is strong, and black hair is actually enough. This isn't about blame. It's really about awareness. And until we understand the health costs and the manipulative marketing strategies behind these products, the cycle will always continue until we disrupt their ways of business. Loving our natural hair isn't just a cultural pride, but it is self-preservation. Let me share this other video, and I'll be back with some facts.
Is that true or not true? Let me show it to you. Can I show you my natural? First, I want you to answer my question. Okay. Is that an accurate picture of you when you were there when you came in? That's my hair in its natural state, ma'am. Yeah. That's our hair. Okay, and you're saying that to me because what? Because when my hair is wet, it's texture, it's curly, so it's shrinkage in my hair. So that's why I wanted to show you my hair in its natural state. The pictures I sent her before the day of my appointment, because I had to wash my hair because it was flat orange. Do you have a picture of your hair to the middle of your back? Because I have a picture of your hair not to the middle of the back. I sent it to you. No, right, but how do I know when that picture was taken? Okay, I can show you on my phone then, because it has the dates in my phone. And those aren't the extensions? Where I'm having trouble because you can't tell me that when your hair is wet, all of a sudden it gets to 9 inches shorter.
Judge Million does not know about black hair.
Where I'm having trouble because you can't tell me that when your hair is wet, all of a sudden it gets to 9 inches shorter.
Judge Million does not know about.
Where I'm having trouble because you can't tell me that when your hair is wet, all of a sudden it gets to 9 inches shorter. When your hair is wet, all of a sudden it gets to 9 inches shorter.
Judge Million does.
Where I'm having trouble because you can't tell me that when your hair is wet, all of a sudden it gets to 9 inches shorter.
Judge Million does not know about black hair.
Where I'm having trouble because you can't tell me that when your hair is wet, all of a sudden it gets to 9 inches shorter.
Judge Million does not know about black hair.
Okay, you've listened to that. And let me share some facts here that I just prepared for us. So the National Health, the National Institutes of Health study 2022, women who frequently used chemical straighteners had more than double the risk of developing uterine cancer compared to women who did not use these products. That is a study from the National Institutes of Health 2022. Then Black Women's Health Study conducted by Boston University in 2023, after tracking, listen, over 44,000 Black women, researchers found strong links between long-term use of hair relaxers and increased risk of both uterine cancer and breast cancer. That's a study also conducted by Boston University in 2023. On to the latest, Consumer Reports Investigations 2025, independent test on popular synthetic braiding hair revealed carcinogenic chemicals, toxic fumes, and high lead content in, listen to this, 9 out of 10 brands commonly used by Black women. 9 out of 10. That's such a high number to think about. And then we have the Harvard University T.H. Chan School of Public Health report 2025. So that's also very, very latest. Products marketed primarily to Black women. Sorry, I repeat that. Products marketed primarily to Black women were found to contain high levels of endocrine disrupting chemicals which interfere with hormones, affecting fertility, puberty timing, thyroid function, and long-term reproductive health. See, the point here is the corporate will always make money via whichever means they can. And if creating that insecurity for Black women and even Black men, whoever is going to make them money, and so be it, they will do whatever is in their power to sell and to make profits. Now, they are exploiting an insecurity that was created by a narrative that based beauty on Eurocentric standards. Now, we need, as Black people, to constantly, this is not a destination. It is a continuous journey to constantly fight propaganda that beauty can also be defined by the standards of Blackness. And indeed, beauty should and will and must be defined by our standards. Failure to which this cycle will always repeat, will always continue, and will always disadvantage us and will benefit them. And you know who I mean by them. Those that run and own the corporates at the expense of Black people. And in this case, when we talk about Black people, it encompasses all of us. Are you in America, in the Caribbean, in South America, in Africa, in Europe? All of those people that they term as Black are the target. So this is a reminder, a profound reminder that if we lose track in such kind of fights, because we need to continue constantly stand guards, constantly fight, constantly remind ourselves, then if they'll take advantage. Yeah. So that's what I had for you today in this video. Do share with me. I'm sure you have something about this. So go down to the comment section and let me know what you think about it. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share it. And if you like what we do, then subscribe to the channel to become part of us and enjoy what we do here. So until next time, I'll see you in the next video.